target me and give us some extra shine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jerica. Thank you so much, TNT. I wish that they would text me and give me some extra shine, but every morning or every other morning, we got to deal with the no sound. Now, how we gonna have no sound? That makes no sense whatsoever. Thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything correctly, because we got to do this these days with Facebook. There we go. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you so much. There it is. I just been talking away. You know me, doing my thing. Good morning to you. Complete with my son doing his thing as well. It is what it is. Good morning. Oh, thumbs up, thumbs up. Great, great, great. Great, great, great. I apologize. I apologize for Facebook. Facebook, what have I done? We're gonna find a way around it. It's good. We good now? Great, great, great. So let me take it from the top. So from the very top, we were talking about the cover story here. And I'd like to know how many people are going to be motivated by the Vax lottery, the VAx-Lotto. Is this a good idea? Well, it appears that it is. The state is reporting and reflecting some numbers that make a lot of sense. Looks like this is pushing people to get vaccinated, and it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that a lottery would inspire people to get vaccinated. You want to know why? Because we are all God's selfish little creatures, and we only care about ourselves. The vast majority of us get up every day and only think about ourselves. So, what better way to convince people to go get a vaccine, even though it might be best for their health and public health in general, is to give them money. That's what motivates Americans. Money. Big old piles of money. Drugs and sex, but money, right? That's what gets human beings going. Money, drugs, sex. That's what motivates us. I don't know why we keep acting like we anything other than this. That's what we are. So yeah, they say, listen, we're gonna give you a big stack of cash. That's gonna motivate people. I wouldn't be surprised if there's people out there who kind of feel some kind of way about the vaccine, who get the vaccine just so they can register for the lottery. Because they're like, shit, the odds are better than the regular lotto. It makes perfect sense because we're God's selfish little creatures. Even those folks that call themselves religious, because a lot of folks are religious only to the point in which there's something that they want to do that feels good. And then they'll do that shit anyway. And then say, I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, Yeezy. And then they feel like they're getting to heaven. I'm just be honest with you. Just keep it 100. People out here sinning all day long if you believe in sin, and then go to church on Sunday, talking about something, and then want to cry. I love God. Okay. It's the truth. It's the truth. And see, I just accept human beings for who they are. God's perfect little children. Perfect, imperfect little selfish children. That's what we are. He made us this way. Glenn writes, I have to admit, a meal sounds pretty good. I'm just saying, don't it? The government comes to you and says, you know what, you should take this vaccine so we can all reach herd immunity. People are like, you should wear this vaccine because you're going to keep your family safe. People are like, if you get the vaccine, you might win $1 million. People are happy then, right? It's all about the people, man. It's all about the selfishness. Again, I'm saying I'm any better. I'm no different. I just can admit my faults. I'm tragically flawed. Yes, tragically flawed. Like everybody else. I could just admit it. A lot of people can't, they can't admit it. They can't admit it. Glenn writes, God don't like ugly. Another ugly about a meal. I'd say, what is it? 650,000 after taxes? Come on, man. That goes a long way in the state of Ohio. You know what I'm saying? You could do a couple things with that. You could put that money up and then put it towards your retirement. Let's say you got everything else. You're covering your day-to-day expenses. You might buy a little something here or there, but for the most part, you're gonna take that 600 and that 600,000 and just put it up. I can respect that because we all want to retire one day, right? That's the whole reason why you're working, is to retire, right? I know. That's the whole point. Who the fuck want to be working when you're 75 unless you're working in your own business or you're just the chairman of your own companies, like you running it? Cool. You can work it till you die. But who the hell want to be 70 taking orders from somebody that's 35, 40? You don't want to do that shit. You don't want to do that. Hey, Kamara, good to see you. Hey Naisha, how are you? She said, how much is it after taxes are taken out? About 650,000, I'm calculating. Could be a little bit more than that. That's a good little piece of change. That's a good little piece of, you could put that in investments. You can start a new business with that. Plenty of money to start a new business. It wouldn't even take, you take 50 grand of that. Start you a whole new something. You know what I'm saying? So if you've already gotten the vaccine, I'm just encouraging all of my listeners, go ahead and sign up for the lotto. What do you have to lose? And when you win, throw a party for the choppers. That's all I ask. If anybody in the audience wins, just throw a party, invite. It don't have to be for the choppers. Just throw a nice little party, right? Invite the choppers. Invite the choppers. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. We'll have a great time. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Pat writes, I got my second vaccine in March. I did sign up for the Ohio Vax. Then if I win, my Patreon donation will go up. I'm just saying, okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it in advance. But, just throw a little party and invite the choppers. We come out. We have a good time. We good people. You know what I'm saying? We have a good time. We'll dance. We'll laugh. We'll drink. Y'all will drink. And then that's it. That's it. Then you can go off with your lotto life and everybody's happy. That's all I ask. But again, if you've already signed up, go ahead and sign up for that lotto. I'm not telling you whether you should get vaccinated or not, because that really comes down to a personal decision. I respect all opinions on that. But if you've already done so, go ahead and get a shot at the meal. You got 5 shots at it. Also, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is lifting COVID-19 restrictions, even though he says that people who are fully vaccinated no longer have to wear masks. Okay. But I'm reading that only 37% of Ohioans are fully vaccinated. Doesn't that seem a bit premature? Shouldn't we wait until we get at least half of Ohioans have been fully vaccinated? I would say, yeah, but Mike DeWine is worried about re-election. He understands that there's an impact. There'll be an impact on his re-election efforts if the economy in Ohio is not doing well. Plus, he's probably got all these people that represent the business community in his ear. And we know he has no backbone. He has no spine whatsoever. Mike DeWine has no spine. Whichever way the prevailing wind is going, which way the wind is blowing the hardest, that's the way that he's going to lean to. That's what we've seen. That's what we've seen. But at least we can go back to Kings Island. At least you can go back to the Cincinnati Zoo and look at all the zoo babies that have been enslaved by humans for our fake education, but really entertainment and commerce. Yeah, I said it. I know people love the zoo. I'm your friendly neighborhood agent provocateur. I'm here to provoke some thought. I just have a different opinion about it, but it is what it is. We all love the zoo babies. They can't go to their natural habitat because they're in fucking Cincinnati. Got kids gawking at them. I'm sure that's a lot of fun. But at least they get free eats, right? Mm-hmm. It's a fair trade-off. Free eats, captivity. We call it educational. Cincinnati Reds, Kings Island have all announced over the weekend that they're going to be amending their current practices to reflect Ohio's further easing of COVID-19 restrictions. I think it's too easy, but again, humans worse than COVID. Mike DeWine is way worse than COVID. Mike DeWine is 100,000 times worse than COVID. COVID just wants to replicate. It just wants to survive. Mike DeWine has all kind of different agendas and motivations and all kind of politics. You don't know what to expect from him. COVID, we know exactly what to expect from him. Very simple. Humans, not so much. Not so much. On May 12th, Mike DeWine said the state's last remaining health orders, including the one limiting capacity, would expire beginning June 2nd. He also added that Ohioans who have been fully vaccinated will no longer have to wear a mask in public, except in healthcare settings, on public transit, or in businesses that continue to require them. I was recently over at Whole Foods. The wifey and I were over there last week, and we witnessed a white couple be asked to leave because they refuse to put on masks. And I just want to say bravo to the staff over at that Whole Foods over there in the Rookwood Pavilion, because I appreciate that. I appreciate it when the store owners or whoever run the store enforce the mask rules. Okay, that's the second time I've been in that store and seen somebody, in both cases white, because generally speaking, white people are far more incorrigible. They're far more in their feelings about not wearing a mask than what I've observed non-white people to be. I think it's white skin privilege. But it was a young white couple in there, and they put up a little fuss about it. And finally, a dude, the security guard, came over and was like, "Nah, you got to leave." And I applaud that. If I owned the storefront and somebody walked in there like that, I would politely tell them, like, "Hey, this is our rule." After that, I'm calling the boys. I don't have time to play games. I'll let them do. That's why they get paid. They'll remove you. I don't have to put my hands on you. And then guess what? Business as usual. Life goes on. But I love it when store managers and people that run these businesses enforce the mask rule. I know it's uncomfortable. I know a lot of people don't like confrontation, but it's necessary to keep the entire atmosphere in a really good space. It's very, very necessary. So that's what I feel. I mean, they asked them to leave, they left, and I'm like, why would this young white couple go into Whole Foods with no mask on? And what I can only assume is it must have been the ego of the guy, because men will go a long way to try to impress a lady. They'll go a long way to try to impress a woman. So I wonder if this dude was like sitting around on some pro-Trump stuff, talking a whole bunch of ish about how people are dumb and you look stupid with your mask on, and you're just letting them control your mind. And so he's out with his lady friend. He wants to express her. He's talked all this shit. So now he's got to back it up. He gets over to Whole Foods. He got to play it all the way out. Some people are just nasty, man. Some people are just nasty. You never want to go to their home. Whole Foods even gives mask out at the door. That makes no sense. They do give mask outs at the door. They do. And I enjoy that. Again, thumbs up to all the establishments out there that enforced the mask rules here in the state of Ohio, who were not afraid to step up to the plate and hold their patrons accountable. I love it. In Ohio, 42% of residents have received at least one dose of the vaccine. Only 37% are fully vaccinated. I'm reading an article that was posted 2 days ago, so those numbers might have changed. So if only 37% of Ohioans are fully vaccinated, then does it make sense for the Mike DeWine to drop the mask mandate? Should we wait until the numbers were a little bit higher? I think it's a no-brainer. The answer is yes, unequivocally. No doubt. No doubt. Let me see. After initially staying with his mask mandate, the Cincinnati Zoo is shifting its stance in a phased approach. Beginning May 17th, visitors must only wear masks in indoor areas, congested areas, and spaces where animals and humans interact. Isn't that pretty much everywhere at the zoo? Think about this. This is what happens because it stops to make sense. Like, when was the last time you've been to the Cincinnati Zoo? I've been there several times. I can't remember the last time. It's been some years. So beginning May 17th, which was 2 days ago, visitors must only wear masks in indoor areas, which is a lot of the attractions where the animals are held in captivity. A lot of those captive spaces where humans go to gawk at animals that can't get back to their natural habitat are indoors. They're all indoors, like the snake house, the insects, all the cool shit is indoors anyway. Congested areas. Isn't that everywhere inside the zoo? Like when you go to the zoo, the bottlenecks and the congested areas are going to be like the food, the concession spots, the restrooms, the bathrooms, and where the animals are being held in captivity indoors. Those are all going to be congested spots. And spaces where animals and human interact. That's everywhere, Cincinnati Zoo. That's everywhere. What place is not covered by that? The picnic area? Oh, dear Lord, forgive us. We have no idea. We have no idea. I'll say it again. I'm going to say this again. I don't know, family, if we are living in the last biblical days, but we are certainly living in the last days of common sense. In those days, the last days of common sense precedes the last biblical days. We close. Humans worse than COVID. If COVID was in charge, they would have better rules. But humans got to make that money. That money is going to kill us. It'll be money. It'll be greed and ego that blows the deal here on planet Earth for human beings. It'll be something like that. Human beings will get greedy. Our ego will get too big, and we are going to F up planet Earth, no doubt about it. No, there's no problem drilling for natural gas. They're going to do the wrong things. Sure, we can split the atom and create time machines. It'll be human beings. It won't be the aliens. It'll be human beings that cook Mother Earth. Watch. No doubt about it. Just like in those sci-fi movies, they're all the same. Human beings doing something dumb, thinking they God, thinking you God. Human beings in the pursuit of money, and they do the wrong thing. And now you have to send 5 brilliant scientists to the middle of the center of the earth to do some old scientific mission, which is straight sci-fi. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen to us. We're going to fuck up the earth, the orbit of the moon. I'm hearing that now we're going to put a moon base or a base orbiting the moon, which is not a good idea. The aliens have already told us to stay the fuck off the moon, but no, we got to go back. It's the same thing with this. Humans worse than COVID. I don't understand the Cincinnati Zoo's phased approach, but it seems to me like what they're trying to say is that everywhere other than the picnic area, you got to wear a mask, but you got to appease people, I guess. You got to make that money. It's all about the money. It's a damn shame. Great American Ballpark, Kings Island, and King in the Cincinnati Zoo did not indicate in their guidance if they would be asking guests for proof of full vaccination. How do you feel about these vaccination cards? Is that like, a step in the wrong direction? What you mean? I got to show you proof that I'm what? Healthy? Now, I want to tell you something, family. It looks as if we dodged a bullet on this one. We dodged a bullet with COVID-19 because this could have been much worse. All you people out there running around talking about what you're not going to do and the government can't make you do this and they can't make me do that. Listen, that COVID shit could have took a left. We could have been quarantined a whole lot longer with police officers at major intersections where they restrict your movement. You can't move. It could have went that way. We was headed that way. But it looks like, the scientists got ahead of it and seems like they're kind of dealing with it now. But don't think for 1 second that if we go through COVID-20 or COVID-21 or I prefer COVID-25. I don't know why. It just has a nice little ring to me. COVID-25. If COVID-25 hits, don't think they can't lock this shit down, homie. They ain't gonna lock me down. I've got my gun. Sure you do. Sure you do. Remember Waco? Remember Ruby Ridge? When the boys come for you, they coming for you. And they got to drag your corpse, your burning corpse out of a burning facility like they did at Waco. That's what the fuck they'll do. People need to stop playing with themselves. Like they give us it's all part of mind control. They allow us to think we have more control than we really do. But when the powers that be want to lock things down, they can lock this whole city down. They could lock the city of Cincinnati down real quick. I mean, just think about it. All they got to do is just put boys on all of the major intersections, the ramps, 75 and 71, shut that down. And then there's a few spots, not more than a few, but there are some key areas in terms of the flow of traffic that if you put somebody right there, you can shut down Cincinnati just like that. Nobody's going nowhere. And what would you do about it? Nothing. Try to find some clean water. That's about it. Let me see, what else can I glean for you here? The mask guidance to me, I'm just amazed that humans had so many issues with masks. It just blows me away that as human beings, we couldn't even agree that wearing a mask was a good thing. We couldn't agree on that. Let me see. Let me see. Where are we here? I'm trying to glean more from these articles and give you an idea of what you can expect. Oh man. Yep. Good to know we got the right things in order. Why are you using that one? I don't get it. All right, let me go back to the choppers for the first time this morning and say good morning to everybody in the proper way. Brandy Rice, good morning. Good morning to you, Brandy. Ray Rice here. Brenda Rice, happy Wednesday. Bad Lotto is a scheme to get more than 30% of participation in getting this vaccine. And from what's up, Brent? And from what I'm understanding, it's working. From what I understand so far, the Ohio Lotto is working. VAx-Lotto. And again, if you've already taken it, go ahead and get your bid in, man. Go get your bid. You might get lucky. You never know. Think positively. Send that positive energy. You might win. And when you do, you already know what to do. You already know. Sharp Rice, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Brent Rice accidentally hit send. Good morning to my Chopper family. What's good, Nate? I'm great, sir. How you doing? Drop Rice, good morning, Choppers. Black not vaccinated. He is hilarious. The Politically Petty Show writes, morning, Nate and the Choppers. Flows rated E for everybody. LMBAO at conservatives on a daily basis, especially the black ones. Ray writes, I love Wi-Fi. Never seen a problem. The customer service, she's like, I love WF. What is Whole Foods? Yeah. Whole Foods. Go word, they're going ham about this mask down the Dow. Are they? I haven't listened down the Dow, but to me, it's a small thing. It just goes to show you white privilege and how incorrigible and how much of a potential threat some people are when it comes to COVID-19. COVID-19 has revealed a whole lot. Look at what we learned about the school board members. Like, we know undeniably that there's school board members that shouldn't even be on the school board. They are way over their head. The job is too big for them. They just lack the critical thinking skills. And I just really wonder the real motivation. You know, as I was doing those school board interviews, I just had these strong feelings that sometimes people take these positions and they get in these positions and they're in these positions for a long time and they take it for granted and they're in it just because of the prestige. Like, I'm on the school board kind of stuff. And I really got that feeling from some of those interviews. It's sad, but we deserve better, by the way. We deserve better. We deserve much better. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I mean, part of me feels like my opinion of some of the school board members has changed so much that I don't even have confidence in them to select the right superintendent. That's just how much my confidence has dropped in some of the members, not all of the members, but some of the members of the school board. And it's a damn shame. It really is. And when people start complaining and asking questions, why, all you got to do is look there. All you got to do, we got to do a better job at vetting and selecting school board members. But again, I'm talking to the choir. You already know that. David writes, you are correct, Nate. Some people are just nasty. Yes, they are. Defmere writes, mask on. Tamika writes, they were all in Sam's yesterday, no mask, looking at us like we crazy for wearing masks. I've seen that before. I've seen it all. I've seen people with a mask, with not a mask on, and they give you that kind of like, I'm ashamed look. Like, I don't want to make eye contact because I don't believe in wearing masks. I've seen that. I've seen people that give me a look like they looking at me like something's wrong with me because I have a mask on. I'm looking at them like, you just look like a fucking fool. It's just some of these things are very, very simple. Uh, T. Nicole writes, common sense is not common. Well, we know that one. Tabitha writes, I just want to see proof of the winners. Maurice writes, I am the eldest grandchild and great grandchild, and I have heard of the stories of my ancestors being called savages and squaws. They were not names given to Africans. Okay. Tabitha writes, you need a mask at that stinking zoo anyway, LOL. Right. Just to keep out the smell of the animals. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mean to go so hard on the zoo. I just got my different viewpoint. I just kind of look at it differently. I know the zoo is a very, very important uh, icon here in Cincinnati. I get it. And I know that some of the things that I'm saying challenges your established view, but that's what you get on this show. Kamara writes, the aliens really told us that? Yeah, they told us to stay off the moon. Yep. Yep. They said, get the fuck off the moon. That's the reason why we didn't go back for a long time. Yeah, the moon is not a natural thing. Something's going on with that. And we're going to destroy it. Watch. We're going to destroy the moon's orbit, which will destroy the orbit of the Earth. I can see it already. I can see it already. Sean writes, which alien spoke to us? It might have been the Greys. Crystal writes, wait, what did the aliens say, Nate? They said stay off the moon. That's what they said. Daryl writes, we were at Kings Island this past weekend. Best believe we had a mask on when we weren't on rides. Okay. Smart people right there. Linda writes, good morning. Cass writes, hey, choppers. Erica writes, good morning. Charles writes, grand risings, Nate and the choppers. Susan writes, I'm fully vaccinated, but I'll continue to wear my mask until the spread seems to subside. I'm with you on that. Me too. Charles writes, exactly. The school board members were long tenured before becoming jaded. Yeah, I could really tell. It has never been more apparent that you got some people on the Cincinnati school board that are very long tenured. And they have a lot of experience. But there's sometimes that experience can make you pompous. It can make you arrogant, and it can blind you to what's really going on because you feel like you already got to figure it out. And I picked up on that with some of the school board members, and also picked up a certain vanity that was more about the prestige of being on a board or something like that. Like I said, everybody's motivated differently. I'm not really motivated by the prestige of looking like something. That don't really motivate me. A lot of people say, hey, Nate, you should run for office. And I've thought about it sincerely. But for me, it would be something like, I really feel like there is a need and I feel like I'm the one who can do it. I'm not really caught up with the prestige of like being on council and that shit don't mean nothing to me. I'm just built a little differently than that. But I can tell there's some people that means a whole lot to them, And again, everybody's different. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm just simply explaining the world the way I see it. That's it. So don't take this like I'm hating on anybody. I'll have love for everybody, except for Gilligan's. If you're a Gilligan in a critical position, I cannot not call you out. You know what I'm saying? Cass is in the house. She writes, I'm waiting for the reports of folks getting into arguments over this vaccine because Karens and Darrens will now feel it's their responsibility to police folks with no mask if they don't have proof of a vaccine. Those same, how do I know you live here people, right? Mm-hmm. Folks will turn into, do you have a vaccine card? It's coming, watch. It could. TNT writes, the aliens hang out on the dark side of the moon. They do. They absolutely do. Dee writes, I have never been to Sam's and not seen people without masks. It's the West Side, so I am not surprised. I just hope they don't come in line near me or it may get ugly. Crystal writes, I like to speak to the aliens manager. Y'all funny. TNT writes, and the moon is hollow. I know, crazy, but they made it vibrate like a gong. They did. Because y'all know there's aliens out there. Y'all know it's aliens. There's definitely UFOs. We know that. The government has admitted that. Who knows where they come from? I'll tell you one thing, and I said it yesterday, I'll say it again. We know that the aliens are intelligent. How do we know? They did not reveal themselves while Trump was the president of the United States. That just goes to show you how intelligent they really are. Where my Republican friends at? Where my black, not Democrat friends at? That just goes to show you that there's intelligent life, because they didn't reach out to us while Donald Trump was a president, because he would have made it all about himself and try to sell them like some real estate and where's your home planet? Maybe we can do a sponsorship, he'll name it after himself. He would have been all about him. Susan writes, Nathan Ivey for school board. I appreciate that. I'm not sure where my talents will end up. You never know where life takes you. You never know. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Dale writes, hey, Nate, when Drop calls, ask him about the criminal charges brought to the Trump organization by the NYAG. What? Hold on. What? Did I miss something? What are we talking about here? New York Attorney General Letitia James opens criminal investigation into the Trump organization. We knew this was coming. The office has been investigating possible civil violations by the Trump organization, but now it's moved into a criminal investigation. Listen, I hope that they bury Trump. If Trump committed crimes, he should be held responsible. That's what I'm looking for. So that's what I mean. When I don't people take it the wrong way, like I wouldn't wish that on Trump or anybody else. Any trumped up charges, no. But if he did the crime, he should pay with the time or the fines or whatever. He should not be spared because he was a former president and he's a rich white man. He should get that work like everybody else do. So if the New York AG, they find that they have evidence that he committed crimes, they should prosecute him. Just like they should prosecute anybody else. I don't look at Trump as any different. I don't wish anything on Trump that I wouldn't wish on anybody else in that scenario. If you did the crime, you do the time, period. If they do an investigation and find out he didn't do the crime, let the man live. Simple as that. But we know the Trump crime family. You know what I'm saying? We already know what they was up to. We already know. We already know. Criminal capacity to probe of Trump organization. That sounds serious. Criminal capacity? What they do? What the hell did they do? What does that mean? Who knows? Trump was crooked, man. Come on, he was a crooked president. So it is what it is. Cruther writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning to you, Cruther. Good morning to you. Hey, where my UC Bearcats at? With that thumbs up for the UC Bearcats. Yeah. Good morning to you. TNT writes, and his whole family. Terrence writes, good morning, everyone. Greg writes, Grand Risings, Nate and the Choppers. Greg writes, what did the Trump organization or companies allegedly do in New York? I'll look it up for you. Nat writes, what's taking so long? Lock them up. That white collar crime always takes a while. Number one, you're dealing with the former president of the United States and all of the power and privileges that the man still has. Secondly, he's a white man. And then third, he's wealthy. You don't just walk in and then you don't just do that sloppy. You can't do sloppy work when you're going after a target like that. You can be sloppy when you're going after poor, broke black people. Or you can be sloppy as fuck then. It don't really matter. When you're going after somebody like Trump, you got to make sure your game is right. And that's what's taking so long. They're making sure that the case is tight. Because there'll be repercussions if they get it wrong. You can believe that. Why Crystal got thumbs down? I know you ain't thumbs down on the UC Bearcats. Make me mad. It's all right. Feel the way you feel. TNT writes, the Trumpsters will break in the prison to save their Messiah. Charles writes, the aliens would have acts taken to our dumb ass had they revealed themselves while Trump was in office. You're right. That would have been a bad look if Trump was a president and the aliens descend from the heavens with their super fancy, tech, or they just pop into our dimension with their super fancy tech, and then they meet with Donald Trump, it would have been the worst thing ever. Crystal writes, never heard of him. See, you doing this like that, Crystal? Talking about she never heard of us. Huh? You're in Cincinnati. You can't be disrespecting the Bearcats like that. The hell? Can't be doing nothing like that. Let me see. Grand Rising shoppers, what's popping, Nate? Everything is good, brother. Everything is good. Good morning to you. Good morning. Let me jump over here. I want to get all your comments in here. I wish a Karen would. Speaking of wishing a Karen would, did y'all see this video of this? They're calling her a Karen, for lack of a better word, or not knowing her name. And she got into an altercation outside of a home recently. The police, a black police officer, a black female officer, was on the scene and responded. And what happens next can only be categorized as nasty. Nasty. And it ended with this woman being going to jail. And let me just look at this video one more time to see if this is something I even want to play here. I mean, so in this video, this woman, the term mooning, she actually mooned a police officer. And then the black police officer chased her down and tased her. Have you seen this? If you haven't, I'm going to post a link to a YouTube site and you can check it out there because I don't want to play it here. Copyright, all that, standards and things like that. But there's a link right there to a Twitter page. You can check it out right there. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. Had to connect with the wifey real quick. So everything is good, Say-Rod. Everything is good, brother. Appreciate you. Brent writes, D from the Wayans brothers wasn't playing with that Karen. She tased her and she hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. She did. It's just a disrespect, man. How you gonna disrespect a police officer like that? I mean, what makes you think that you can get away with something like that? Just damn disrespectful. Just nasty. Just some things you should get tased for. Now, I don't even know. I guess that's indecent exposure. She mooned her, basically. So she was getting into it back and forth with some people. There's a black officer there. And this Karen literally mooned the officer and then tried to run away. And the officer chased her down and tased her. And I have no problems with it. None whatsoever. Just follow the link. You can check it out. I don't want to play it here, but follow the link and you can check it out for yourself. Regina writes, yes, saw it. Looks like there are police officers that know the difference between a gun and a taser. Out here making points on points on points. Okay. Nat writes, you notice the black officer used a taser and not a gun. That's a taser situation right there. The sister had to chase Karen and taser her ass. She did. TNT writes, Trump knows something. He started Space Force. Countries fighting for territories and mining for precious metals on the moon and Mars. Greed is going to destroy us. Greed is going to destroy us. I agree with that. Greed is going to destroy us. Stephanie writes, Jesus is love. Can you say that, please? I just said it, Stephanie. How are you? Yes, it is. Oh, my gosh. I don't know what's happening anymore. I have no idea. We're going to have to deal with this together. That's it. So I can tell you. If you're interested in the first let me back up here. I went to my yard yesterday and I was looking for cicadas. I didn't see any. I was disappointed. And I want to make sure that we get a chance to enjoy all that cicada love like everybody else in the greater Cincinnati area. How many people, raise your hand, have found cicadas in your yard? If you found cicadas in your yard, then yes, today might be the day. Okay, because today they're saying that we're going to hit temperatures of 80 degrees, and that might be the trigger for the cicadas in your yard to come out. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it's about ready. Let's just get to it and get it over with. It'll be fun. I'm reading that cicadas can be as loud as 90 to 100 decibels. Now, let me give that some context. Okay. So normal conversation at about 3 feet is 60 decibels. A hair dryer is about 70 decibels. Okay. A lawnmower is about 90 decibels. But cicadas can be as loud as 90 to 100 decibels. Like, you might literally want to get some of those, and you can buy them from like CVS or any drugstore. Yes, I'm serious, son. He's like, Dad, you're serious? They're that loud? Yes, son, they're that loud. He's in the other room, but he can hear me. So you might want to, if you're somebody who might be irritated by that, you can go get some earplugs. It'll cost you about $5, $6, $7, $8. You can get it from CVS or Walmart or whatever. And, and you can get that to you won't hear as much as a sound. Hold on. Somebody sent me something on Facebook. Somebody just wrote, what the hell is going on in Anderson and Township? What is this exactly? Nothing excites me. Lexi Lawston. Okay. Okay. Republican Party got them a new black female replacing Andrew Pappas. Okay. I'll reach out to her. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate it. We have to catch up too. Got to catch up so we can get the ball rolling. Interesting. Well, I mean, again, I have no problem with black people being in the Republican Party. We need black people to be Republicans and be a part of the Republican Party. What we don't need is sell out black people to be Republicans and be a part of the Republican Party. I have no problem with Republicans. I have no problems with the Republican Party in theory at all. In practice is a whole nother thing. If you're a black person and let's say you grew up Republican or you just identify Republican policies, great. That's fantastic. Cool. Just don't punk out. Don't be like a Tim Scott. Don't allow yourself to be just like used by the party. Stand up, make it better. Stand up for our culture. Stand up for the people. Do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. Let me see. Crystal writes, I'm not ready. Oh, man, that's hilarious. I'm not ready. Carla writes, okay without them. Are you, Carla? Really? We're going to have so much fun. I'm in my yard cutting grass right now and do not see a sign of any. Yay. Yeah, I went over to the backyard, the front yard. There's some trees off to the side. I was looking at the trees and I didn't see anything. And I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get any cicadas around our house. Because I want my kids to have the full feeling. I'm hearing that the recurring cold temps have affected the cycle. Hopefully they all die before liftoff. Death to them all. Erica writes, I'm not ready for them damn cicadas. I'm going to throw firecrackers in the streets and make them go somewhere else. And if I see those shells near my house, I'm going to smash it with a hammer. Yes, I got it all figured out. You're doing too much, CNT. That'll be way too much. Just ride it out, man. Just enjoy your summer. It's going to be a beautiful summer. It's going to be a beautiful summer. Looking forward to it. And then I have a feeling that somebody in our audience might win the lottery. And when you do, hit that party, have a good time, hit that party for us. We all going to have a good time and chill. Let me see here. 100 decibels. I didn't know it was that loud. Like I do remember it being pretty loud. Like the last time they were here, I was married. we had just gotten married. We had been married like 4 or 5 years. At that point, we didn't have any children. And I remember we went to somebody's house. I don't know if it was a couple friend of ours or whatever. But I remember sitting out on the patio and I could hear the cicadas. And we were playing cards and maybe drinking or whatever, what couple friends do. And I remember us talking about the cicadas. We could hear it. And I think we were out in the suburbs. It was one of my wife's friends, I think. And at that particular time, they had like a little condo like out in the suburbs or something like that. And their backyard was like nothing but like woods, nothing but trees and woods, very, very pleasant, you know what I'm saying? And I remember sitting there, we're drinking and eating, and we're swatting away the cicadas a little bit, and we could hear them very, very loudly. So, no big deal. No harm, no foul. We'll be okay. Danita writes, Nate, be careful what you said about the Republican Party. Meghan McCain had a full-blown meltdown on The View yesterday on Joy Behar. They had to go to commercial. She has been trolling lately. Black, not Democrats, might tell on you. No, I mean, I'm just consistent. Like I said, if we're gonna use when I say we, I'm talking about citizens in general, but black voters in particular. If we are gonna use the political system to get the equity and policy and tangibles that we want, it can't just be with one party. It can't just be a relationship or a conversation with the Democrat Party or the independents. It's got to be with the Republicans too. You got to talk to everybody. You got to try to work with everybody if that's what the goal is. There are no permanent allies, only a permanent agenda. I mean, just look at U.S. foreign policy. We propped up dictators in other worlds, other countries when it benefited us, and then turned our backs on those same dictators that we helped to prop up when it benefited us. So what does that mean? It means that your agenda, your overarching goals, that's what remains. How you get there, the allies, you people you work with, that might change day to day, year to year, decade to decade. But the goal is what matters. And I see the same way with our community as it relates to Democrats, independents, and Republicans. Right? I know who's more open to the conversation. We all know that, but that's why I say I have no problem with black Republicans. We need black Republicans with some sense, with some backbones, with a conscience to go into the party and try to work from within. Try to work from within. Try to be a positive force from within. Now, we don't need Tim Scott sellouts. We don't need that. Okay? Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Hold on one second, brother. I thought I had you plugged in, but I do not. Hold on one second. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
Welcome.
You just struck a nerve with me talking about Tim Scott. Why are you disparaging that brother's name?
Who? Disparaging?
Tim Scott. Absolutely.
How so?
He's the only African-American male in the United States Senate. You would have never said anything about Senator Barack Obama, but you choose to disparage Tim Scott's name. Why? Because his politics are different from yours?
Well, no, it's because he was the latest black Republican to say some dumb shit on the national stage. I mean, what was it, 2-3 weeks ago?
What do you say? He's on the national stage all the time. What do you say that was stupid in your opinion?
It was a response to the president's speech to Congress, in which Tim Scott came out and said that, he don't believe that that America is racist.
But check it out. His vice president, Joe Biden's vice president, said the same thing. So you want to call her a sellout too?
Yeah, I would call her a sellout.
Kamala Harris is a sellout.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely sold out on that for sure.
But
she's not a Republican. I was speaking of black Republicans.
But I want you to speak about black Democrats like that, because Kamala Harris, last I checked, is a Democrat, my brother.
Yeah. But I was talking about black Republicans in particular, and I was making a point.
But why are you? But I get that. But I'm making. But I'm answering your
question. Because I want to.
Because he's a black Republican.
No. I'm talking about black Republicans because I want to. And so in that conversation, I was making a point about how we need black Republicans, but just don't be a sellout like Tim Scott. That was my point.
Well, can you tell me a black Republican who you would not consider to be a sellout? Is there anyone that you could point to?
Well, I can't put any names
Just give
out
me one
there.
name.
I can't put
Why
any
not?
names out there. I mean,
Why
I
not?
don't
You
know. I
putting Tim
think that's
Scott
more of
name
an
out there.
indictment on black Republicans than anything else.
I think it's an indictment on the double standards you're spewing, my brother. Because see, the thing is, you would sit here and talk about black Republicans and disparage Senator Tim Scott.
Yeah.
But the vice president of the United States is an African American woman, and she agrees with Tim Scott, but she's not a
Yeah.
sellout. You'll say, "Oh, she's a sellout on that point," but she's
Yeah,
not.
she sold out
That's
on
what
that
I'm saying.
point.
It's
She sounded like a damn
inconsistent.
fool on that one.
But I'm saying all I want you to do, bro, and you ain't got to be consistent, but I will ask for consistency. Because
Okay.
see, they agree on that subject matter. They both
Right.
agree that America's not racist. But you'll call the black Republican a sellout, but give the black Democrat a pass and just isolate her one statement and put it to the side. But you'll call the whole brother Tim Scott a sellout. That's the double standard that I despise that. I
Mhm.
respect you a lot, bro, but I'm just saying that's indicted on people who think like you. That just because it's a black Republican, they're automatically in every way, shape, or form a sellout. But you'll take the black Democrat, the female, and you'll isolate her one statement to she just sold out on that point. Why is she not a complete sellout? Because that don't fit your narrative. And it's disappointing, but I get it.
Right. Well, I mean, she can be whatever you want her to be. But I stand by what I said.
But you make I feel you. But you'll make Tim Scott a sellout completely.
Yeah, Tim
but
Scott
Kamala
is a
Harris
sellout completely to me. Yes, he is.
That's what I'm saying. But then Kamala Harris is not a complete sellout.
I mean, if you think she's a seller, that's okay with you. That's
No,
cool.
I'm asking you.
That's okay.
I'm asking you.
I just told you. I feel like she
What?
sold out on that point. Yeah. I
Right.
don't look
So
at.
your eyes. Right.
So are you asking me? Do I look at Tim Scott the same way I look at Kamala Harris? No, I do not.
Right. And see, that's
No, I do
the
not.
hypocrisy. That's the hypocrisy in it.
What's
because
hypocrisy
they both
about it?
agree. The hypocritical aspect that I'm pointing out is we're talking about the United States of America in totality.
Mhm.
Okay, that touches every aspect of our living arrangement here in this country, and they both agree that America is not a racist country. But you'll say Tim Scott in its totality is a sellout, but you'll
Yeah.
isolate Kamala Harris one statement and say she sold out on that point, but everything else she cool with because that fits the narrative
I didn't say
that
everything.
black liberals.
I didn't
that
say
liberal-
everything else she was cool with.
You isolated, but you isolated the one statement, bro. So basically, you sign off on everything else that she does and says.
No, that's what
you
you're trying to
did.
say. But no.
Nah, that's what you did. I'm
Nah.
going by what you're saying. These are your words.
Nah.
That Tim Scott's a complete sellout. We don't need this.
Yeah,
black
he's a
Republican
sellout.
completely selling out.
Tim Scott,
But then you'll
Uncle
say,
Tim is
Kamala-
a complete sellout. Like here's a guy.
Right.
Here's a
But I
guy
can't
who's
say
still
Auntie
making
Kamala.
excuses
I can't
about
say
the
Auntie
Capitol
Kamala,
riot.
though.
So the real question is, tell me why Tim Scott isn't a sellout is the real question as it relates to him.
I'll tell you why he's not a sellout, because this brother is allowed to think whatever he thinks. He is a free thinking black man.
Right.
Just like you would purport that Kamala Harris is a free thinking black woman.
Oh,
But
okay.
you'll say that Tim Scott is a complete sellout.
Yeah.
But Kamala Harris just sold out on one aspect because she agrees with Tim Scott that the entire country is not racist. Now, that statement touches everything that we do in this country. And the black Democrat and the black Republican agree. But only one's a sellout completely, but one just sold out on one aspect. That's hypocritical. I just wanted to point it out. We're not going to agree on that. And that's cool. I do want to go to another subject matter, though.
Go right ahead.
And that's the Andrew Brown shooting.
Go right ahead.
Do you think those officers should have been indicted? Or brought up
Hard
on
to
any
say
charge?
because we haven't seen the body cam. They're not going to release it.
Well, right, but haven't we seen one video?
I haven't seen any videos.
You haven't? Okay, maybe I saw a video yesterday when they did you watch the press conference yesterday in Elizabeth City?
Not in its entirety, no.
Okay, there was a part in the press conference, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but there was video, not necessarily body cam video, but there was some video angle. I'm not sure where it came from, where the officers were around the car.
Right, I did see that.
And
I take it back. I did see that.
Okay,
yeah.
so all right, okay, so we're on the same page now. You went from not seeing the video to seeing the video. Now you saw the video. Great. So we're on the same page now. The video showed the car moving and the police officer shooting in the car, right? I mean, that's what I saw. And the DA, which I found it was ironic that his name was Andrew as well, said no charges, that the shooting was justified.
Right.
So now that you say you saw the video, What did you think of that video?
Let me make sure correct. I saw images of still shots of the video. I haven't seen the video that you're talking about.
You ain't seen the moving? Okay, all right. Well, from my perspective, and from legalistically speaking, when felons are fleeing, it is the job of the police to apprehend those people. And apprehend can mean a lot of different things. It can mean put them in cuffs. That can mean shoot them. Whatever you got to do to stop them from fleeing. And so that's what makes it justified in my mind. I hate to see it. I hate to have seen that, but it is what it is. This isn't Derek Chauvin Dion and that. And it's like every time the police kill a black person, it's not Derek Chauvin. It's not that case every single time. And it's like people want to make this into like every time the police kill black people, the police are automatically wrong. And that just seems so far-fetched to me.
Well, we know that's not true.
And I wish people just, right, we and you know that, but there's a lot of African Americans out here, the Irish Rollies of the world and people like that. That's their hook. They perpetuate that lie to make everything justified.
No. Sister Iris don't perpetuate that.
Yeah, absolutely, she does. No, every time the police do something, the police are wrong. I ain't never heard. Bro. Have you ever heard Irish Rollies defend the police in any way, shape, or form?
I have.
I have not.
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
I have.
I haven't.
I have. I've had many conversations with her about the things that have happened. That's not true at all.
I'm talking about public. Private conversations is one thing. I'm talking about publicly. Okay, I ain't never heard Irish Rollies defend a police officer in her life publicly. She can say whatever she wants privately, but publicly, this is her hook. Police are bad.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true though.
It's my perspective.
Once again, you like 0 for 3 today. You entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. You striking straight out today, bro. Goodness. You entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. That's not the way. I think it's a complete mischaracterization, in my opinion, of the work that she does. I think once again, you got a personal beef with her, which is very obvious. And so now you're gonna take this opportunity to try to shit on her.
Why I'm mad about? No, I ain't gonna use a show as a platform to get Iris. Why would I be mad at Iris?
I don't know. I'm not sure you mad with her. You just don't like her. Who knows why? I can't tell you what your personal issue is. I'm just telling you that's a mischaracterization.
It's not a personal thing.
I think it's a dangerous mischaracterization at that.
Well, you can call it what you want. I just think that the thing speaks for itself. I ain't never heard Irish Rollies defend any police officers out here when it comes to anything.
And
but
let me stop you here. Number one, that's not the standard by which you should properly judge her work, by whether she defends police officers. That the standard that you're using, number one, is faulty. That's number one. And number two, I mean, if you're trying to say that that she lacks the ability to look at these cases independently, I think you're wrong again.
Okay, I'm 0 for 3 then. Let me try for the fourth thing. Steph Curry is going to destroy LeBron James tonight because he's shooting from the Raptors on these boys. I can't wait for this one-game playoff because LeBron James' legacy is on the line tonight. Make no mistake about it.
0 for 4.
Make no mistake about it.
0 for 4.
Right, exactly.
How could his legacy be on the line tonight? His legacy is not on the line. It's not on the line. I'm telling you, bro.
It most certainly is, bro. Because it is the best. Look. Steph Curry is going to get the MVP this year. I think we could agree on that. Leading scorer.
He's not going to get the MVP.
He had crazy April. Who going to win it then?
It's the Joker out in Denver.
Jokic. He had a good season though.
He's got a great season. He's going to be the MVP. Watch.
Okay, we'll watch that. I like that perspective. I think he'll be in the running for sure.
Oh, I think he's number one. I mean, plus, they lost Murray, and he still kept the team going. That's MVP type stuff.
What about Golden State though? I mean, yeah, he had Draymond, but who else did he have?
I would put Chris Paul ahead of. I put Chris Paul second. Look at what he's done with Phoenix. He's completely turned the year around.
He got a lot of help, bro. He got so much help down there.
He does. They got squad. They got a young boy squad over there. And then I put Steph Curry. I think the game tonight is going to be hella fun, and I think the Golden State could win. I don't think they are going to win, but I think they could win.
Well, we know you're a homer, so you're rooting for LeBron. I get it.
I am.
And that's great. I love Steph Curry. I've loved him since Davidson when he made that run in the tournament. And I think this particular season, especially in the month of April, where he averaged 38 a game, bro, he put the whole Golden State team on his back.
He did.
And I think that's gonna I think there's something to be said about that. Chris Paul had a lot of help. He had AN. He got the little light skinned young boy. He got a lot of help. So if you want to put Chris Paul ahead of Steph,
I would. This year I would.
okay, all right. He might be the engine that keeps it running, but we look at the terms of who's the more valuable person on the team. Golden State. Look, if you took Steph Curry this year off Golden State, are they a playoff team? Are they even a playing game?
Oh, of course not.
Right. So let's judge it by that standard. You pull Chris Paul off Phoenix, you don't really. Phoenix is like what?
Yes, you
third
do.
seed, fourth seed.
If you take Chris
they might
Paul
still
off of
be in.
Phoenix, they fall off the map. They fall off the map.
Now, I think I'll agree with you on Joker. Like you take Joker off that team, they're dead to rights.
They dead to rights. I will say this though: Steph Curry could go for 65 tonight, easy.
He might.
He could go for 6, and if he does that, he'll break the game. He'll break the whole game wide open, and Golden State can win. He could do that. That's what's going to be exciting about this one game play-in. I like it. I like the format. I hope they keep it. It's fun. It's something different.
Yeah, I like the way they switched. It switched it up, and I think that just one game for all the marbles is the type of excitement that the NBA really needed. These 7-game series first round. I may watch a few of them, but like one game, it becomes must-see TV, especially with LeBron on Steph Curry. Man, you can't miss it.
Oh, it's going to be great. But I see Golden State losing. Maybe even a close game. Could come down to the last shot. And I see the Lakers moving on. Even if the Lakers lose, they have another game, right, that they can play back into the playoffs. So I think the Lakers are in the playoffs.
It's a different format. I don't really understand the whole thing. It's almost like double elimination, I think. So it's going to be different. I'm trying to learn as I'm watching. But, yeah, thank you, NBA. You've made the first round watchable again.
Okay. Anything else, brother?
All right. I'm 0 for 4. I'm going back to the dugout. I'll catch you next time,
comrade. All right, man. Get some batting practice in. That's Black Russia. And he held my feet to the fire, man. He said, damn, man, why you talking about Uncle Tim Scott like that? He ain't no sellout. Yeah, sure he wasn't. We won't even talk about his many comments about Barack Obama, all the BS during the Trump years. Nothing like having a black man who can come out and shake your hand and make you feel good about your racism. That's what Tim Scott is. But Black Russia thinks that he thinks I'm wrong about that. Okay. What he said about Sister Iris again, I mean, that's not the standard that you judge an activist work by how many cops they defend. Who came up with those standards? That's not the standard. That wouldn't be the litmus test. Ridiculous. And I don't believe that one bit. In fact, I know much better than that as it relates to Sister Iris. But the work is what the work is. Her focus is what the focus is. It is what it is. Steph Curry and them tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, like I told you. I may watch the game. Got some other things going on. It'll definitely be on somewhere on some kind of screen, even if it's just my phone, if I can get it there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And Steph could go for 70 tonight. I mean, no lie. Anybody that watch, he could go for 55 tonight easy. That's nothing for Steph Curry. And if he does that and he's hitting at a high clip, it'll break the game. It'll completely break down the Lakers defense and it'll open the game for them to win. The one thing I'll say about the NBA, and I'll say it real quick and move on, we got drop on the line, is that Steph Curry has showed us this year that he is not to be, he is a real one. He is a real one. People, oh, you don't have Klay, you don't have this, you don't have that. Well, even without Klay Thompson, who's amazing, he out here cooking. He is cooking. So it's been a lot of fun to watch the highlights. This whole year has been great. One of my favorite new players to watch is the Ball brothers. LaMelo Ball is the truth. He is the truth. He got super skills to be 19 and be a rookie. Super skills, man. Super skill, just on another level with his athleticism and his touch. He's bringing back the teardrop, the mid-range teardrop. He's going to be a baller. Shout out to their father. A lot of people hated on that black man, but I was consistent. I told people he is doing the right thing, that every father, every boy should be so lucky to have a father like LeVar Ball, to push them to be great. You got to push people. Sometimes you got to push your kids to be great. My daughter hates it, but I push her, and I push her hard. I push her real hard. And she could take it in terms of what my expectations is. And she's stepping up. And, you know, we looking at our son like now, he's 6, so it's hard to say, but he got the same deal. You know, You want us to go work and provide Wi-Fi and Nike gym shoes and cooking food for you? Well, you better go out here and be black excellent. Better make it happen. Because that's what makes mommy and daddy happy. You know what I'm saying? Your kids out there performing and meeting your expectations and exceeding your expectations, man, it makes paying for groceries a lot easier. Say what? Hold on, I can put it back up. There it is. Camera's
Good morning, the choppers.
Camera's right there.
Morning, the choppers. And
Who is that?
Mr. Donald Trump. Mr. Donald Trump. Mr. Donald Trump and Mr. Little Triceratops.
Okay. It is what it is. Let me see.
I'm the best president in the whole entire world. Don't talk to me now.
He's got it down, huh? You're gonna fall. Thank you.
Mr. Donald Trump, I'm the best president.
I mean, you know what I'm supposed to do. Just go with the flow. Doing some daddy lets me do that. Glenn writes, what? Wait, what? Hang up on this fool. Adele writes, Black Russia, stop shilling for white supremacy. Sister Iris is in the house. She writes, good morning, great people. Brian writes, that's not Iris's hook. That's my hook to get it right. Sarah writes, fleeing doesn't give you a right to apprehend by deadly force. So let me see here. So I saw the still images. I want to make sure I speak very specifically so that what I say is exactly what went down. So I have not seen the video he's speaking of. I've seen some still shots of the video that he's speaking of. As I understand it, the police are not going to release the full body cam of what happened to Andrew Brown Jr. There is a federal review that is, I believe, taking place in that case, because during the autopsy, they found that he was shot at least one time in the back of the head. The prosecutor, the DA down there, the district attorney, Andrew Womble, announced yesterday that the deputies who fatally shot Andrew Brown Jr. were justified in using deadly force, saying that Brown recklessly drove at the officers on scene while trying to flee an arrest. Did he? I just don't see it. You know, I just don't see it. But let me see here. The 3 deputies who fired at Brown will also be reinstated and retrained. And there's some disciplinary action that will be taken against the deputies, some other deputies that were on the scene. My thing about that is, sometimes it feels like for instance, there's a lot of things that you can do. It doesn't mean you should do them. And sometimes in these cases with police, I see them doing things that they can do, but they shouldn't do. And I wonder if that's what happened in this case. So the brother gets in the car, tries to speed away. The officers, once he gets in the car, they get in the way of the car. He's really trying to get away from you. He's not trying to really hit you. He's just trying to get away with you. But because they are within the vicinity, they now understand that they're within their police powers to open up fire, so they do so. And that happens a lot when it comes to black people. Happens a whole lot. You know, there's a huge, wide gulf between what you should do and what you can do. And when it comes to black people, what we see, or non-white people, what we see is that the powers that be will do whatever they want to do because they know they can get away with it. And that happens with police. It happens in the schools. It happens across the board. It happens across the board. You know, that's the reason why you got the school to prison pipeline, because you got teachers and administrators that have a decision to make. They got a wide latitude. And with the black kids, they choose to go super hard. Like, we got to teach you a lesson. And with the white kids, kind of like, you know what? I can see in your eyes that you're not used to being in the principal's office. So we're going to give you a pass. You know, all this kind of stuff. Like, I understand with you. Again, I've dealt with it firsthand. I've had issues with my daughter who was having issues with another student. I get in here and talk with the administrators, all white, and they're asking me, do I understand how the other students feels? Well, the other student's really going through something. Can you understand that? No, I don't. And I don't care. I only care about my daughter. You care about that. But the fact that in a situation like that they would even bring that up tells you what their mentality is. It tells you the fact that you would even bring that up to me. Well, what about the other kid? I'm like, you mean the kid that's harassing my daughter? I don't give a damn. I'm trying to get it to stop. But the fact that they can identify to the point that they'll bring that up to you as a parent when you're dealing with an issue in a situation like that tells you everything. It tells you everything. And then get this, family, they'll sit there in your face and look at you like you are the problem. I'm telling you, CPS has a problem that's so deep that no one person could ever fix it, because it's just it's like a whole process of people that have been socialized in this culture to react and deal with things in a particular way. That Gabriel Taye situation does not surprise me. I was surprised at that point, but I've seen and heard things since then. I'm not surprised whatsoever. Don't surprise me one bit. And I'll tell you one thing, we need a black man. We need a conscious black man to be on the school board. 60% of the CPS is black, and there's no black man on the school board helping to guide, to make decisions, to guide policy, checks and balances whatsoever. None. And that's a problem. That's a major problem. So you listen, as we get closer, I'm going to focus a lot on city council. We might even do some CDM forums, where I moderate, or perhaps we can get some of the other hosts to moderate, so we can do our part to share as much information about the choices that you have as possible. I'm thinking about doing that with school board and also with city council. Okay, so don't be surprised if you see that. Let me see. Kathy writes, good morning, all. Nat writes, alternative facts. The only reason they got off was by weaponizing Andrew Brown's vehicle to give their police a self-defense outright. Pat writes, what's up, Nate? Wow, what's up with his meds? Talking about Black Russia. Sister Iris writes, sounds personal. It does sound personal. Susan writes, what the hell? Right, he just tried to throw her under the bus. I'm like, nah, homie, we can't do that. Like, real is real. If somebody say something is real, but that ain't real to me. I wouldn't say that. Not from my observations, things I've seen, just my interaction. I don't think that's a fair assessment at all. But let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your West Side Connection. You're one and only Black, not Democrat. And, sir, I do not call your show to make you look bad. You know that, right?
Yeah.
In 3 years.
Appreciate that.
That's not what I do.
Appreciate that.
But I'm going to make you look bad this morning.
But I knew it was a but coming.
What? What?
All right, go ahead.
Why
and take
you
your
have
shot.
me on? Okay, you getting old, Mr. Ivy. I know you're a one-man show. You had me on hold for 9 minutes. You know I'm old. You know I done forgot my train of thought. Mr. Ivy, I had to hang up and call back. You know I'm an old veteran to talk radio. I know, but I had to call you out on that one. But the reason I called, sir, first of all, shout out to the Alt-Middle and all their affiliates, but I must disagree with Black Russia when it comes to the Cincinnati's #1 freedom fighter, Sister Iris Rowley. 100% disagree with his statement because, like you said a few minutes ago, a activist, that is not her role to run around and congratulate and pat the police on their back. Her job is to call them out when they do not treat the people the right way, fairly, and constitutionally. So shout out to Iris Rowley, strong Black woman, the #1 freedom fighter in Cincinnati. I have much respect for that woman. Now, Mr. Ivy, I dropped in your Twitter direct message, I dropped a video that was put on Twitter 13 hours ago by S. Lee Merritt. I think he's one of the attorneys, or he works for Benjamin Crump. But he released the actual video of the special operations team when they rolled up, and I think that was the still video that you saw. So it's in your Twitter direct message. If you want to look at it, it's all copyright clean because it was posted by the attorney Lee Merritt, and it's gonna be because see, Mr. Ivy, this is the problem that happened in South Carolina or North Carolina with Andrew Brown Jr. is the fact that you had the attorneys grandstanding, you had the race hustler Al Sharpton talking at the eulogy and stuff, and then you had the female attorney for the Brown family who was the only one that saw the initial body cam release. And the way she described the video, Mr. Ivy, it's not what's in the video that Lee Merritt put out. It's totally opposite of what she described. So now, hopefully the Fed's going to have to take over because the police follow procedure, because a vehicle driven by a convicted felon with a history of using firearms, again, his criminal record is very relevant in this case because he was fleeing and he almost ran over. From the video, you can watch it yourself or you can show it for the people, or you can go to the Black Not Democrat Twitter feed and find it, but it's out there. And I think that's going to be the problem moving forward.
I just saw the video.
Yeah. You see how it's different now, Mr. Ivy? 3 weeks later after the actual incident. And, but again,
from
all
that
this
video,
really is going to do.
Can
yes,
I say
sir.
something, Drop? From that video, I don't think that the police should have shot him. I don't think that he was trying to.
Of course, you're right.
He wasn't
You're
trying
right.
to run
You're
anybody
right.
over.
You're
He was
right.
trying to get away from them. They should have just let the man go.
You're right.
They could have got him later.
You're right. Mr. Ivy, you're 100% right. But you said this earlier before you took my call. You said that there are police procedures and regulations in place that police officers will use in some situations when maybe they should not. And like you said, from the video, it's going to be clear to people who out here who want to go against all this other political stuff. You know how people be wanting to get clicks. You got grifters, you got waste hustlers, you got opportunists. They're going to say, see. Because again, Mr. Ivy, the regulation states, because of who was behind the wheel at the time, that he used that vehicle as a deadly weapon to try to run over the police officer. So therefore, the police officer was justified to stop that vehicle. Now, like you said, sir, maybe he shouldn't have used it. But by law, by police procedure, the DA is not going to convict those police officers. So now it's up to the feds. But I guarantee you the Andrew Brown family will collect millions of dollars for excessive force because the police department admitted that the officers either were not trained properly or their training was not up to date, because they said that those officers will be reinstated and will have to go through additional training. So Benjamin Crump and his team will get the Brown family multi-million of dollars for him and his kids and whoever else is survived by him. So one more thing before I go is that Tim Scott, before he did the response to Sleepy Joe Biden's first joint session of Congress address, you were still calling Tim Scott the same thing before he made the statement that America is not racist, which was agreed to by James Clyburn, the great black savior of Joe Biden, by Kamala Harris, by Barack Obama, and I don't need to name any more because, again, you are selective. Any black Republican who is upfront and prominent, and the reason you know why they put him out there, because he's the lead in the Republican Party for the Justice Reform Bill. And again, it's because the George Floyd bill and the John Lewis bill, which Joe Biden promised all the black voters that he was going to pass in his first 100 days, ain't doing shit. Oh, excuse the language. It's not going anywhere. So all I need to say is you better put some respect on Tim Scott's name and start respecting that black man and stop calling him Uncle Tim. Because see, it's black men like Tim Scott who have the courage to go against the grain, not run with the wind like some of these lazy ass desperate Democrats who call themselves politically petty. It's men like Tim Scott who should be, you don't have to agree with his politics, Mr. Ivy, but don't disrespect the man. And that's all I got, sir. Drop Squad 52. Dropping science to anyone who wants to catch. Anybody seen the Politically Petty podcast? Peace.
All right. So, Tim Scott, here's a man who declined to join the Congressional Black Caucus before he became a senator. Tim Scott, here's a man who made his name opposing Obamacare. Tim Scott, here's a man who opposed the Justice Department's efforts to increase diversity among South Carolina's elected officials. Tim Scott, he's a major foe of organized labor. Sounds like a sellout to me. He kissed Trump's ass for 4 years. And as a black man, he joined the chorus of criticizing Barack Obama for every little thing. He knows what he is and who he is. He's a black face for white supremacy, period. And he's okay with it because he gets to wear expensive suits and he's a senator. That's the trade-off. So you're right about that. My opinion about Tim Scott didn't start 3 weeks ago. You're so right about that, Drop. Appreciate the call. 513-873-7134. We shouldn't even be talking about that. That's a no-brainer. Let's talk about this video, shall we? Let me play the audio for it. I mean, to me, I don't know, but by what I just saw, all of the shots were fired after he was driving away. So how was he a threat anymore? I do not believe in the video that I saw that he was trying to run anybody over. They got in the way of his car and he was trying to get away. He clearly tried to swerve to the left and he missed. If he wanted to hit somebody, he could have hit somebody. Let me go back to the video. I'll show you right here. He really wanted to hit somebody, he could have hit this officer right here. Now, number one, is this America or is this Iraq? These mofos rolling in like they rolling into Fallujah. Is this America or what in the hell? These motherfuckers, were they rolling in like they rolling into a combat situation? Look at this. The Ho Chi Minh Trail, where are they going? Look at him. All of this for one man? He goes backwards. Look how he turns to the left. If he wanted to hit that officer, he could have hit him dead to rights. What you're going to see when I hit play is that he keeps the wheel turned to the left and he misses him on purpose. Look. He could have hit the man because the dude is so damn slow. Work on your lateral movement. Look at this. Fucking super slow. To get out the whip. Going into Fallujah. He goes backwards, not forward. He goes backwards, not forward. When he goes forward, this officer right here, Slow Feet, Officer Slow Feet, his goose is cooked. His goose is cooked. He could not swerve away from that car fast enough. All he had to do was accelerate and hit the man if that's what he wanted to do. But it's clear that he wasn't trying to hit him. He was trying to get away. Look. And so now that he's driving away, now they open fire. Where's the threat? He's 12 feet away from you. Where's the threat? And then how is firing into the vehicle? Here it is. Look at this, broad daylight, middle of the day, residential area. How is that keeping the neighborhood safe? What if there were some kids playing across the street? He would have ran them straight over because he was dead behind the wheel. They shot him in the back of the head. To me, what we saw was an unnecessary homicide. It was unnecessary. All they had to do was let him go. But in America, we don't believe in that. And some people in this audience don't believe in it. Well, all he had to do was put his hands out the window and he never would have happened. Maybe you're right about that. But it doesn't mean you should end up dead because you try to drive away from some officers. And it's the good old boy network. The DA works very closely with these officers, I'm sure. He probably sympathizes with the officers. He probably knows the officers. And so it becomes like a personal thing. Like, I know this guy. He's a good guy. These are my guys. That's what builds the bond between the DA and the officers when the DA lets the officers off. He proves to the officers that I'm with you. I got your back. They didn't have to kill that man. If he would have drove away, they would have caught him later that day or the very next day. He either would have turned himself in or they would have caught him, just in a traffic situation. They didn't have to kill him. That, from what I see, he should be alive today, right here and now. But when you're dealing with black people, whatever you do to them is justified. Because black people are like the training manual. It's like, oh, well, we'll just try to do better next time. Meanwhile, you've killed somebody, but we'll try to do better. I know this was tough on you, officers. This will make you a better officer. That's what happens. Never had to go down like that. Now, what should the man have done? He should have just stopped resisting arrest and just go through the process. He's a felon, so he knows what the process is. That's what he should have done. That's what I would have recommended that he do. But just because he didn't does not mean that he deserved to end up dead, in my humble opinion. But what do you think? What do you think? Back to your chat here this morning. You just saw it for yourself. Tell me what you think. Susan writes, policemen went back to their slave catcher days. Andrew Brown wasn't wanted dead or alive. He was fleeing, not attacking the decision not to charge us. Total BS and unacceptable. I agree. And all it's going to do is foment a whole lot more anti-police sentiments in that neighborhood and around the country. That's all it's going to do. Sarah writes, shot in the back of the head. Marcia writes, good morning. Jerica writes, so it was okay for the officers to be shooting all willy-nilly in a residential neighborhood? I heard that one of their bullets hit a house, right? Y'all just fight. And see, what it was it wasn't that the officer was in danger. It's that they're mad now. I'm mad. How dare you? You could have. So now they know the rules. And so it's like, oh, well, we can't kill you. And it's always one or two in a bunch that don't mind killing people. It appears. It's always one or two that'll pull the trigger real quick. So when they start pulling the trigger, everybody else open up because they know how the law is. And it worked for them. But I don't think that man should have been killed. He didn't have to die for that. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Guy. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Welcome.
Yeah, I just want to let you know the other day, the reason I started laughing because what I was going to say something. I was like, oh, no, he'll take that personal. I don't want to, do anything like that. So I just kind of started laughing when I was thinking about it. So I kind of let it go. But listen, two things could be true at the same time involving this cop shooting. Yeah, they didn't need to shoot him. Yeah, he wasn't trying to hit them. He was trying to get away. You're exactly right. But at the same time, let's stop doing jumpy shit around the cops. At this point, we should know, let's just stop. We know they're going to treat us different. They're going to get trigger happy with us. Quit letting them bait us in this shit. And quit doing jumpy stuff. There's no way a guy would. He had a record, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, there's no way that a guy with that kind of record, criminal record, expects that he's going to drive away from cops and not one of them's going to shoot at him. As much as he's been involved with cops, he might have just been tired of it all, committing suicide. I don't know, But a jury might say, well, apparently this one ain't even going to court.
No.
No, it's not going to court. But even still, we got real issues out here, like what happened with Tamir Rice and John Crawford. We got real issues. This little jumpy shit this cat did, running from the police at Wendy's in Atlanta, running from the police on the freeway in Indianapolis. Like, no. I'm sorry, you should have done that extra shit. Because a jury might say that the cop he might think like Nathan Ivey. You didn't need to shoot him, but you're still dead. And you didn't go outside to sacrifice yourself for $5 million for your family to argue over. So just stop doing jumpy shit. Where's that message? Huh, Nathan?
Well, you're delivering it right now.
Stefan out in California, it's 2, 3 in the morning. You're running through people's backyards while the cops are chasing you. You're going to get something you don't like.
So it's his fault.
I didn't say that. It's his
Sounds
fault.
like it.
Well, okay, if that's how it sounds, then goddamn it, you're going to have to eat it.
Okay, then. So you're blaming the victim.
Yeah, I'm on victim blaming. Because this is your fault. You've got an extensive enough criminal record to know how to behave around cops. And to know that many cops around you, somebody's going to think your car's a weapon. Quit being an asshole.
He got what he deserved.
No, he didn't deserve to die, but he had what was coming to him. You play stupid games, you get stupid prizes.
So he got what he deserved.
So and only unless these cops are clearly in the wrong with no gray area, no qualification. Like with the Tamir Rice issue, somebody called and said a suspicious character was pointing guns at a park. Unless there's no gray area, your family's not going to get paid no way. So why are you doing this extra stuff? Oh, let me guess, his brain ain't developed. He ain't 25 yet, right? Is that the excuse we giving him? Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
It would be facts.
But yeah, you actually proved what I was telling you about you and Donnie B's bullying of Laura Mitchell when you just went into that last little diatribe about CPS. You had a vendetta against her. You knew the weakest person you could pull it off on was a black woman. Because you weren't going to be able to pull it off on Mary Ronan, a white lady. Y'all bullied that woman. And I stand by that.
Okay.
I thought you guys dealt with her in a very unsavory, unprofessional. I thought you dealt with her in a very unsavory and unprofessional way.
I think you're unprofessional and unsavory right now. But we all have our opinions.
I probably am, but it's not my job to be professional. I'm the listener. I'm calling and reflecting on what I'm hearing. And right now, the caller, I'm talking about what I'm hearing. And what I'm hearing is nonsense about a dude down in, where was that, Carolina, the brown cat. Like, what is you doing? You're doing too much. The cops could have let Cleo go and set it off. No, they didn't. They let her up. They lit her up. She tried to do the same goofy shit you just did. Drive through some cops.
I think it was some slight differences. If I remember the movie correctly, there was some differences.
I said what I said. You got the gist of it.
Yeah, I said what I said.
So,
you got the gist of it.
Yeah, I did. And that's all I got today, bro. Your gist. And I'll holler at you at a future moon. Oh!
If you throw me to the wolves, I'll return leading the pack. Thank you for the call, Fame. I appreciate it. I'll say it again. If you throw me to the wolves, I'll return leading the pack. I appreciate the howl there and everything. It's interesting. I mean, take from it what you will. Appreciate the call. Regina writes, they don't believe in letting black people go. Right. We got to teach you a lesson. Is that how they approach everyone with a felony? That's a problem in and of itself. Right. They showed up like they had like it was Hamas. Like it was Al-Qaeda. Maurice writes, the feds won't find anyone guilty. Biden and Harris. Could be true about that. Brent writes, remember, this is in tiny Elizabeth City, North Carolina. They are playing soldier. Let me go back to the phones here. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nate and the Choppers.
Hey, good morning, Brother Forte. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm hanging in there, man. Let me pick up on the Brown situation in the Carolinas. First of all, you got all 50 states that got 50 different rules, right? In Ohio, we got different rules within police departments. In Cincinnati, the officers would have been wrong. They would have lost their job because we had a lot of bad car incidents over the years. And now a car is not a primary weapon. You get out the way of the car. You don't stand in front of it. You don't stand behind it. If they was going to engage that vehicle, they should have pulled the pickup truck right up on it and would have stopped the vehicle in its tracks. When all these guys with their SWAT gear on and their big weapons and their superiority complex, obviously the brother contributed to his own demise. I'm not taking that away. He contributed to his own demise. But as you say, he was fleeing. It don't appear to me that the car hit anybody. Secondly, you don't stand in front of or behind an automobile. If he had intentions on running people over, asses would have been ran over. Okay, the BMW with that powerful engine, he could have been bowling out there if that was his intentions. His intentions was to flee. And the prosecutor down there, I seen the racist rage in his press conference. I'm going to explain it to you like this. Well, in the Carolinas, obviously it's legal. I told you in the city of Cincinnati, we don't shoot at cars. We've had bad car incidents over the years. We get the hell out of the way of an automobile. We don't stand in front of it. Unless he's shooting a gun, we don't even shoot at the car. But it took a lot of heartache for us to get there. You understand me, Nate?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at local laws, state laws, and until it becomes a federal law to say you don't shoot at fleeing vehicles, and you use common sense and you don't stand in front of them or behind them, then this stuff's going to keep happening. In my humble opinion, it was a bad shooting, but I understand they trained different than the way I was trained, and I understand they in the dirty South. The fleeing felon laws went off the books in the 80s, where you could shoot felons in the back if they ran. That was on the books forever. Those laws on the federal level have been removed a long time ago, and most states recognize that. So bad day for the home team. And like I said, he contributed to his own demise. I'm not leaving that out. He seen them rolling up. He made a decision to try to flee. Okay? The better decision obviously would have been put the car in park, put your hands up. So it's just bad, man, and people got to learn from this. You know? The prosecutor, I just looked in his face during the press conference, and he's running for some district judge job. So he's willing to take his chance that if enough people support what happened, that he'll still get voted in, than if he'd have thrown those guys under the bus. So you're dealing with politics here, and you're dealing with a black man's life. It's that simple. So I just wanted to get that in, man. I caught a little bit of your last caller, and I caught some stuff off and on this morning. I know you're on about 3 different topics. But just, just wake up and smell the coffee, family. Okay, common sense tell you don't stand in front of a car or behind one. But like I say, they were zooted up. I could tell in the pickup truck, they were zooted up. They had their gear, they had their rifles. We finna take this dope dealer down. And now he's dead. And I agree with the last caller. The family might get a settlement. And then again, they might not. You know, different states, different jurisdictions. So that's about all I got to say on that topic, man.
Appreciate the flows, brother.
Hang in there.
Yep, most def. That's Brother
Yes,
Forte
sir.
with Ride or Die LLC. And I recommend them if you're trying to get your CCW and you're going to do some more tactical training. I know Tony was with him just last week. He spent his birthday with him, getting it in. Saw him out there. I was like, damn, I got to get back out there. Let me move on. 513-873-7134. People are posting negative restaurant reviews. Why now might not be the right time. I thought this was interesting. They got this whole article on Cincinnati.com. Restaurant owners to Cincy diners, think before you Yelp. Yelp is an online platform where you can share your experiences, give your critique, your review of restaurants. I just feel like it's so interesting, right? Written by Keith Pandolfi. I'm just amazed. And they got this article here about this. And you got these business owners who are complaining about this. It's interesting. Because I don't remember no articles like this when it came to mahoganies, when people was going on Yelp and on all these different websites saying negative stuff about what the sister was doing. Again, you know me, I just draw conclusions. It could be fair, it could not be fair. You tell me. Ohio vaccine lottery increases odds of ending pandemic. Could be. That's how I started the show this morning, asking you how you feel about the lotto. Is this a good idea? I think it's overall a good idea. Why not? And if you haven't already signed up to register for the lotto, go ahead and do so. You might win. Might win $1 million. That brother right there is giving you 2 thumbs up. He's happy. So get it in. 513-873-7134. You got me for about 20 more minutes. Then I got to make a move. Got a bunch of stuff going on today. Let me see. I'm ready to do. You ever feel like you want to do something new? You want to change things a little bit? I'm ready for a change. How about you? I want to do something different. TNT writes, my dad loves when he howls, LOL. Sarah writes, the body reacts to the present scenario as a result of trauma. The mind is on a totally different plane of confusion. Crystal's in the house. She writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Crystal. Anthony writes, there needs to be a federal standard for policing. Hard for feds to find guilty. Department operated according to state law. Right. TNT writes, don't let this case die on the local level. I'm with all of that. Pamela writes, something. Queen writes, some people are targeted by the system. Some people are targeted by the system. TNT writes, we all need to write or email or letter to the state NC North Carolina District Attorney or District Attorney General and demand that they take over the case regarding Andrew Brown. If everyone from every state descended on their top attorney, he may feel pressure to act. That's interesting. Sarah writes, we will continue until qualified immunity is eliminated. Brian writes, another situation where it doesn't even go to trial. America is saying if a cop kills someone black, it's not worthy of a trial. A trial doesn't say you're guilty. It says some reviewable things have occurred, right? So what they're saying is that it's not even worth the time and the effort to have a trial over the life of the black man. That's how people are going to look at it. The feds thing, I read that. Susan writes, as long as police get to police themselves, we are screwed. Can't disagree with that on a lot of levels. You're absolutely right. What is your opinion about these issues? 513-873-7134. If you have an opinion. Also, I just want to remind you, and I posted this inside the Friends page and my personal page, but Carmelita is dealing with kidney failure and she's looking for a donor. And the contact information is inside of the Friends page. You can check it out for yourself. I am O positive, but we don't have to be an exact match. If someone is You must be 18 in general good health, no HBP, and no diabetes. There are screenings to ensure transplant will be covered by my health insurance. I could really use your thoughts and prayers too if you have any to spare. This is Carmelita, and she's dealing with kidney failure. And if you're interested, you can contact a woman named Trisha Monson at 513-585-1440. She is looking for a kidney. And so if you could be of help, then reach out and contact the donor transplant coordinator at Christ Hospital at 513-585-1440. We talking about life and death right now, family. We talking about some real shit for real. So if this is touching you or in any way you can help, you can jump inside the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivy Show page. It's at the top of the page. Matter of fact, I'm going to post this as an announcement so it stays up there. So as other people are posting, it can stay up there as well. And we can support her as much as we can. As much as we can. You know, that's all I can say. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Council split on stimulus priorities will consider competing plans today. Yes. All that federal money's coming in city council, along with 3 members that were never elected by the public whatsoever, are going to make a decision about that. They have to make a decision about that. Has Wendell Young been showing up to the council meetings? I don't know. I don't know. The plan from David Mann and interim member Steve Gooden includes funding for minority job support, a neighborhood activation fund, and the Clifton Cultural Arts Center, as well as $1 million for 4C childcare startup funds. Meanwhile, an alternative plan from Greg Landsman and Jill Michelle Lemon-Kearney includes, among other initiatives, about $5 million for childcare support. Interesting. Let me post a link to this. There are some things that the plans agree upon. So both plans agree with $1 million for the public museum, $1 million for women's business program through Main Street Ventures, $1 million for the UC Health Canopy. I'm not sure what that is. $430,000 for network upgrades and cybersecurity, $50,000 to Grant Us Hope, which is a teen suicide prevention program, Wesley Chapel summer program, $50,000. You Can Speak for Me, support for families of victims lost to violence, $40,000. Kings and Queens anti-violence youth program, $20,000. Okay. Interesting. Let me post a link for you. You can check this out for yourself. I think this is from WVXU this morning, and you can follow along this local story if you're interested. They're talking about tax dollars here, so we should be paying attention to it. Once in a lifetime money. Let me see. Prayers for Carmelita. Oh, absolutely. Most deaf. So check it out for yourself if you're interested and you want to help that sister out. Who knows? It could be a donor in the audience for all I know. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Hopefully she'll find a donor in enough time that she can get the transplant and continue her life. Cincinnati announces a new fire chief. Did you know that? Brand new fire chief. And he is a black man. Chief Roy Winston. He's the current assistant chief. He's going to stepping up. I'm sorry. It's following the retirement of former Chief Roy Winston. And Michael Washington Sr. is going to fill that role. I read it wrong there. Michael Washington Sr. That's cool. Veteran of the CFD for more than 25 years and will become the 18th leader of the department since it was organized in 1853. So more local news that perhaps you can use this morning, or maybe not. It's completely on you. Some of the big news this morning. You hilarious for that, Glenn. He posted Kwame Brown going off on Gilbert Arenas, Steven Jackson, and Matt Barnes. I watched all the videos. I mean, I'm here for the drama. Hopefully he'll start his own podcast and we can hear from Kwame Brown. A lot of people did shit on him. He did get shit on a lot because he didn't turn out to be what everybody thought he was going to be. And then Michael Jordan started talking bad about him, and it just really wasn't a good look. And wasn't a good look at all for the brother. So I wish the best for him. Hopefully it turns out. You see. TNT writes, based upon what numbers? The already vaccinated. These articles is just to favor DeWine for his poor handling in rushing openings before we reach herd immunity. People registered in the first 24 hours of the Vax-A-Million already were vaccinated, not new vaccines. I think you're right about that. But I also read that there were a lot of people who, again, the way it was written, that they're getting vaccinated because of the Vax-A-Million. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do agree with you. A lot of the media seems to be written in a way to support and protect Mike DeWine no matter what. No matter what. That's what it appears to me. Could be wrong about that, but that's what it looks like to me. Let me see. Maurice writes, you have your boss who hates brown-skinned people and your VP who locks up brown-skinned people. You stop it. Okay. We still going after Biden and Kamala Harris? Okay, we can do that too. Hold on, I want to check something real quick before I roll out of here. Got about 10 minutes left. Let me see here. I want to make sure there was something that I wanted to bring to your attention that I kind of put to the back burner yesterday. I might save it. It's not that important. I'm going to save it, actually. We'll come to it another day. Ain't got to hit it necessarily today. Good morning to you. Hold on 1 second here. Okay. Oh, really? Not good. Not good. Not good. I don't want to touch that. Nat writes, Kwame got time for smoke yesterday, today, and tomorrow, it appears so. He seems to be in his feelings about it. CDC wants a grip. Is that right? They fall back on training. Who the hell is training these monsters? Oh, yeah, other monsters. They murdered that man. Ray writes, to hell with Tim Scott. CG Duck writes, Junior's laugh. I love that he recognizes a clown when he sees one. Hashtag Donald Trump. Oh, man. I feel sorry for parents and children with sound-sensitive issues, autism, having to deal with loud, annoying sound of these cicadas. They got earplugs. You can get them from the store. I wear them from time to time because I have a little bit of, what's it called, tinnitus? Just a little bit, or used to be. It's pretty much cool now. That's why I don't wear headphones. You can't wear headphones for 10, 15 years, listening to loud stuff in your ears without it having an impact. At least I couldn't anyway. So if you got a problem with the sound, just go up to CVS or the Walmart or wherever. You get them, you put them in your ear. You can still hear, but it'll greatly reduce, the sound impact on your ears, on your eardrum. Yesterday would have been Malcolm X born day. Is that right? He was slain by other brothers, set up by the system. Damn shame. Damn shame. Good morning to everybody. Hope you're happy. Hope you're having a happy Wednesday. Abolish the police. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen. We need to reimagine it. I'm down with that, but I don't think we're going to abolish the police. There's no appetite for that whatsoever. Let me see here. Okay. Cool. Great. What is this, Anthony? I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. Okay. Not sure what all that is. Susan writes, DeWine using CARES Act funds for a lottery while ending unemployment benefits for Ohio citizens who are relying on it is a whole sham. You know what? That is an excellent point, Susan. That's an excellent point. That's a very excellent point. You're right about that. We talked about it on Monday. It's just nothing more than class warfare. They want to force people to go back to work and underpaid, substandard conditions, no long-term benefits, because it benefits the media. I mean, it benefits the business community in general. And on the other hand, you want to take money to try to entice people to get out here and get their vaccine. Again, if that's what works, that's what works. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I'll be honest with you. I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Straight Talk Live is back. If you're not aware, you can check out Straight Talk Live with Edna Howe on Sundays at 10 a.m. She's already got a couple of episodes in the can, and it's just starting to heat up. So Straight Talk is back, and just tell everybody, please like and share the stream when you see it go up, and check her out. Check her out as much as possible. All right? Appreciate you in advance for that. Good point, Susan. Appreciate you. Good point. And with that, family, I got to make a move. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, bright and early at 7:30-ish a.m., and we'll chop it up on people, politics, and pleasure. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, there is a link. My link tree is in today's description. You can go to anywhere where I'm linked to online, and you can connect with me there. If you're interested in any sponsorship opportunities for this show or any of the podcasts within this network, you can hit me with a direct message and I will respond immediately. And with that, have an excellent rest of your day, family. I really appreciate you, okay? Make it a powerful Wednesday. It's a hump day. Get it done. Winners focus on winning. So stay focused on winning, and we'll talk soon.
Love interrupted by tragedy, lost in the drought of nightfall, running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all, focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze specify you? Did the palm trees sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself, on the run from yourself. Concrete will shape to quicksand. Just when you think you're in control,